Some films are made. Others are barely rustled into existence. They are born from a perfect storm of chaos where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. We're talking about production nightmares fueled by bitter actor rivalries, technical disasters that nearly sank the entire project, and on-set accidents so bizarre they sound like urban legends. But once in a blue moon, that very chaos becomes the secret ingredient to a masterpiece. And no film proves that better than the 1975 classic that made an entire generation afraid to go in the water: Jaws. Today, we're diving deep into 12 bizarre and unbelievable facts about the making of this cinematic legend. From a mechanical shark that refused to perform to a real-life shark that rewrote the script on the spot. This production was a true battle between man, machine, and nature itself. So grab your life vests and buckle up. This is the story you never knew. Number 1. The star that never worked. Every movie needs a star, but what happens when your lead actor is a 25-foot mechanical monster with a serious attitude problem? The production team affectionately named their animatronic shark Bruce, after Steven Spielberg's lawyer. But Bruce was less of a star and more of a diva. The shark was a complete disaster in the saltwater, constantly breaking down, sinking to the ocean floor, and corroding. The crew spent more time repairing it than filming it. This forced a young Spielberg to get creative. He could only hint at the shark's presence for most of the film, a fin here, a shadow there. This accident of necessity, born from pure technical failure, ended up creating one of the most suspenseful and terrifying movie monsters in history, proving that what you don't see is often scarier than what you do. Number 2. The most famous line was a joke. Some of cinema's most iconic lines are the result of meticulous writing, and some are just happy accidents. When Police Chief Brody gets his first good look at the shark, he backs into the cabin and mutters, "You're going to need a bigger boat." That line wasn't in the script. It was an ad-lib by actor Roy Scheider. It had become a running joke on set among the cast and crew, who were constantly complaining about the small, inadequate support boats they were working with. Scheider threw it in during the take, and Spielberg, recognizing its perfect understated brilliance, kept it in. The line perfectly captured the sheer terror and disbelief of the moment, becoming an all-time classic. Number 3. The on-screen hatred was real. The simmering animosity between the gruff, old-school fisherman Quint and the book-smart oceanographer Hooper feels incredibly raw and authentic. That's because it was. Actors Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss genuinely could not stand each other off camera. Shaw, a seasoned and often intimidating stage actor, would constantly needle and provoke Dreyfuss. Instead of trying to make peace, Spielberg secretly encouraged their real-life tension, believing it would translate into more powerful performances. He was right. The friction you see on screen is the real deal, adding a layer of explosive human drama to the monster hunt. Number 4. A real shark rewrote the script. For the terrifying scene where the shark attacks Hooper in the underwater cage, the production hired a team to film a real great white off the coast of Australia. They built a smaller, half-scale cage to make a regular-sized shark look enormous. But the shark wasn't cooperating. Then, suddenly, it became entangled in the cage's steel cables and went completely berserk, thrashing violently and tearing the cage to shreds. The footage was absolutely breathtaking and terrifyingly real. It was so spectacular, in fact, that the script was immediately rewritten. Originally, Hooper was supposed to die in the attack, but the footage was too good to waste, and nobody would believe a man could possibly survive that onslaught. So, Hooper lived. Number 5. The sinking ship wasn't acting. The Orca, Quint's iconic boat, was the main stage for the film's climactic battle. But during one critical take, as the shark was attacking the stern, the boat itself actually began to sink for real, with the actors and camera crew still on board. The water flooding the deck wasn't a special effect. The panic you see on the actors' faces was their genuine fear as a support boat had to rush in to rescue them from their rapidly sinking set. It was yet another moment where the film's production chaos bled directly onto the screen. Number 6. Spielberg thought the theme was a joke. Dun dun, dun dun, theme plays softly. It's one of the most recognizable and terrifying musical themes in film history. 2 notes. That's it. But when composer John Williams first played it on a piano for Steven Spielberg, the director started laughing. He genuinely thought Williams was pulling a prank. He had been expecting something grand and sweeping. Williams had to patiently explain how the simple, primal, relentless theme would work like the shark's own heartbeat, building dread. Spielberg eventually came around, and the result was a piece of music so powerful it can still trigger a primal fear of the deep with just 2 simple notes.
We're only halfway through the chaos, and it's already a miracle this film ever got made. But trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Still to come, how George Lucas almost got decapitated by Bruce the Shark, why the author of the original book was literally kicked off the set of his own movie, and how Jaws accidentally invented the entire concept of the summer blockbuster. Stay with us. Number 7. The director's personal nightmare. You'd think the director of a movie about a killer shark would at least be comfortable on the water. You would be wrong. Steven Spielberg had a profound, genuine fear of the ocean and a deep-seated terror of sharks. The production, which took place mostly on the choppy, unpredictable open sea, was a form of daily torture for him. He was constantly seasick, anxious, and surrounded by his own worst fears. Every broken shark, sinking boat, and logistical nightmare only amplified his personal agony, making the entire shoot a relentless psychological challenge. Number 8. How Jaws almost broke Star Wars. Here's a piece of Hollywood lore that sounds completely made up. During a friendly visit to the set, a pre-Star Wars George Lucas was inspecting the infamous mechanical shark. As a joke, he stuck his head inside Bruce's mouth. Spielberg, playing along, playfully closed the jaws. But then, the controls short-circuited. The jaws wouldn't open. For a few panicked moments, George Lucas was trapped. The crew frantically worked to pry the shark's mouth open, terrified they had just broken both their multi-million-dollar prop and the future director of Star Wars. Number 9. The author was kicked off set. You write a best-selling novel, Hollywood buys the rights, and they even hire you to write the screenplay. It's a dream come true, right? Not for Peter Benchley, the author of Jaws. While he wrote the initial drafts, Spielberg wanted a more explosive Hollywood-style ending than the one in the book. Benchley hated the new finale, where the shark explodes. He argued so vehemently against the changes that the conflict escalated until he was eventually kicked off the set of his own story. It's a classic case of a creator losing control of his creation. Number 10. The town that hated Hollywood. The charming island of Martha's Vineyard was chosen to portray the fictional town of Amity. The residents were initially welcoming, but that welcome wore thin very, very quickly. The film's shooting schedule was supposed to be a brisk 55 days. Instead, it ballooned into a grueling 159-day occupation. The massive production snarled traffic, disrupted local businesses during their peak tourist season, and generally turned the peaceful island into a chaotic movie set. By the end, the locals were more than happy to see Hollywood pack up and leave. Number 11. The real-life Quint. The character of Quint, the grizzled, obsessive shark hunter, seems almost too wild to be true. But he was heavily inspired by a very real and very eccentric fisherman named Frank Mundus. Mundus was a legend in Montauk, New York, famous for his daredevil shark hunting techniques. In 1964, he cemented his legacy by catching a truly colossal 4,530-pound great white shark using little more than a harpoon and barrels, an exploit that directly inspired Quint's chilling monologue in the film. The movie's most larger-than-life character was in fact rooted in a real-life sea dog. Number 12, the film that accidentally invented summer. Before 1975, summer was considered the dumping ground for movies, a dead zone where studios released films they had little faith in. Serious, important films came out in the fall or winter. Then came Jaws. Its release in June of 1975 was accompanied by an unprecedented national television marketing campaign. The result was a cultural phenomenon. Lines wrapped around blocks, and the film shattered every box office record that existed. Its massive, unexpected success single-handedly created the concept of the summer blockbuster, changing the entire business model of Hollywood forever. So there you have it, a movie that was born from a constantly sinking shark, fueled by the genuine animosity between its actors, and literally rewritten on the fly by a real great white. The making of Jaws was a perfect storm of technical failure and sheer dumb luck. And yet, it's that very chaos that forged it into one of the greatest thrillers of all time. It's a testament to the fact that sometimes true movie magic isn't planned in a boardroom, it's discovered in the middle of a disaster. What do you think? Which of these facts shocked you the most? Was it the fact that a real shark attack forced a complete rewrite of the script? Or that George Lucas nearly got his head stuck in Bruce's jaws? Let us know in the comments below. And for more untold stories from behind the movies you thought you knew, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us here at the Retrospectacle.